Hi, I'm Sylvia,
And I'm Colin.
and this is
Making Waves.
Making waves!
Ceremonies are special events, but boy, can they be boring.
The speeches,
The standing,
the program,
the recessional, you may now kiss the bride.
It gets repetitive. So how do you break from the same old thing and make it unique, make it new, make it something the guests are excited about?
You could put a twist on it and do a fun theme, but whose grandma wants to wear overalls?
I know mine doesn't.
You can switch up the order of events,
But then it just gets confusing.
kind of like my grandma in overalls. So how do we get the people engaged?
How do we make the people watching feel like they're a part of it?
Get them on the edge of their seat.
On the edge of the action.
Make them part of the action.
That's right, we focus on the gestures of the guests.
From the moment they learn about the ceremony,
Until
you may now kiss the bride. We focus on the gestures of the guests.
Now, Colin, when you say gestures of the guest, what do you mean?
Well, Justin Bieber, I mean when the guests nod their head yes, but they want to say, hey, I'm having a good time. I mean creating opportunities for the guests to move their bodies to express themselves in ways that are specific to the ceremony. I mean creating new meanings through new means, you know what I mean?
I sure do, Colin. We run this business together.
Well, you run the business,
And you run your mouth.
and that's how this works.
So let me walk you through how this works. We take on clients who are planning a ceremony and want to take it to the next level.
The next level.
We pay close attention to the whole experience of the guest, designing gestures to be used throughout.
So, Sylvia, what does that look like?
Well, Colin, we might give the guests a new way to signal that they like what's going on, with just a simple movement. Or we might give them an object that changes the way they move their hands.
Sylvia, that sounds kind of cool, but don't you think it might look a little weird?
Well, it might look a little weird, but only if that's what our clients want. We sit down with them and map out the entire ceremony, mapping out what they want their guests to feel, what symbolism to include, and what the overall aesthetic is of the wedding.
So to the viewers at home, go grab your boogie boards because we are about to go make some waves.
Wow, wow, wow.
Now let's meet this week's clients.
Hello, my name is Bobby and this is Susie. We're gonna get married and we would like your help for our wedding ceremony. We really love your work on the choreographic and improvisational objects, and we want your help for the gesture design for our wedding ceremony. We are doing a lot of research in the history of wedding ceremonies to decide what you're gonna include and what you're gonna exclude, and adding meaning to the gestures would be great.
So an idea we wanted to tell you that we're going to include in this ceremony, maybe it'd be a good jumping off point for you guys, is for the bouquet, I won't actually enter in with a bouquet, but the guests will have all picked up a flower or a piece of string, and I would either be taking a flower from them or they would be tying the existing bouquet because it's going to get pretty big, obviously. So there is an existing gesture of tying, so I just wanted to let you guys know that, if that helps you at all.
Anything that you could suggest would be great, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ooh.
Isn't it great to see people describing the value of what we do better than we can?
For sure. Seeing the energy they had describing the experience of the guests at the wedding, it was like watching a different version of myself.
That's weird. I didn't.
And the thing that I think I really liked the most was that they wanted talking about gestures and meanings that they could convey through them.
That stood out to me as well.
Yeah, the idea they kept coming back to was like the idea of things coming together. And I think maybe we could work with that a little bit through like the symbolism.
Yeah, I think when they were talking about the bouquet too, the tying motion of continuously like tying things together, I think that that's a theme that we could incorporate throughout the rest of the gestures.
I love the idea of tying. You know, when we talk about weddings, we're often talking about, you know, tying the knot, right? So then it doesn't feel necessarily like a forced concept upon people. But it's also, you know, bringing things together. We tie our shoes every day, and it wasn't until maybe 4th or 5th grade that I learned to tie my shoes. Thank you. So, you know, every morning now when I tie my shoes, I really take a moment to appreciate that and practice and tie up my laces really nicely.
And I think along with the shoe analogy, to tie your shoes is not for your
for two things to necessarily come together, but for it to feel tighter and for it to secure to your foot and be like as functional as possible. And so I think that's some meaning we could explore also.
This sounds great. Do you want to try to go map this out, see if we can make some of the symbolism fit into our idea?
Already a step ahead of you, Colin.
Sylvia, this is great. Thanks for doing this, but don't do this again, please, because you're really undermining what I'm trying to do here, and you're making me look bad. Okay.
Colin, you wrote that part of the script.
I know. I wrote this into the script, but it was different in my head when I thought of it. Okay, and now that we're doing it live, it just it feels a little tart.
Tart?
Yeah, tart. Like it doesn't taste good. It's a little distasteful. Like something that's tart.
You mean trite?
Listen, can we cut? All right, I gotta go pursue a dictionary.
You mean peruse?
First up, we route out every step of the guest experience, from first hearing the engagement to the couple send-off after the ceremony. Once we discuss some places in the schedule to introduce gestures, we decide on about 5. The opportunities we've identified are the invitation to the wedding, waiting in their seat before the ceremony starts, the objections in the ring exchange, and finally, the couple send-off. We've also decided to stick with the theme of tying. As gestural designers, we like to brainstorm with our hands and bodies. Making stuff is fun too. Once we feel like we have some good ideas, we package them up and send them to our clients. Let's see what they think.
Ooh, yeah. Oh.
Thank you very much for sending the box, and we are ready to open it and see what you got for us. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay, so first we have what looks like the invitation split in half with string on it. So go ahead and read.
Okay, in this card, it says tying the invitation. When receiving their invite by mail, guests will take the 2 halves and tie them together in order to read the details of the ceremony. Interesting.
Yes, so I am tying them right now. I think it's a great idea. I think the style of it is a little bit too DIY, but I think that we can definitely use this concept and adopt it a little bit. But I think this is great.
I like it.
Next.
Let's go for the second one.
Knotting bracelets. When the guests arrive at the venue, they could be waiting up to 20 minutes before the ceremony starts. Make embroidery thread available beforehand so they can be knotting together a new accessory.
Nice.
Okay.
I don't think I know how to do this.
No, we'll have to have instructions or something. But I love this because we would do this in summer camp constantly. I would have a whole arm of bracelets by the end of camp.
I like that we can match the colors with our wedding colors.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Objections. Sometimes, an omitted aspect of the ceremony, the objections are typically verbal. Instead of asking if anyone objects to the couple getting married, have everyone holding hands to show that they agree.
Okay. Not bad. It's like knotting or tying your hands together instead.
Yeah.
I agree. Mirroring the ring exchange. Before exchanging rings, have the officiant ask all the couples to take off their own rings and place the rings on their partner's finger as the couple does. Ah, okay.
They're gonna be very emotional.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think some people are gonna cry.
I think that's a really good way to engage people and have them feel again what it was like in that moment when they were getting married. So I think that that's great.
All right. Oh, that's the last one?
Okay.
Okay, balloon send off. Before the couple send off after the ceremony, give each person a couple of balloons and have them all tie the string. It to held as the couple goes by. Wow, that's really cool. It's gonna be that effect of a lot of balloons and gonna really feel the
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tying balloons, once again, that tying theme, I love it. I think that all of these go well together because it's thematic, obviously, but it's not so in your face. I don't think they'll get tired of it, you know, because all the things are a little bit different. Yay!
Nice.
Thank you so much, Colin and Sylvia. We will definitely be using at least some of these as we plan more for our big day.
Yeah, thank you very much. You guys did a
Thank
good job.
Yay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye. Do we know how to make a wave crash down or what?
For sure. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time when we design the gestures for the opening ceremonies of the 2020 Olympic Games.
Are we really doing that?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
All right. Bye. No, are we really doing that?
Making waves!